Ooh, good afternoon, everyone. This is Leo coming at you once again with a video diary entry for the book Soft Thorns by Bridgett Devoue. Compilation of poetry, thoughts, and inspirations, and just lessons I've learned from each poem that I read. And I go page by page, so it's generally one poem at a time. But with that, new prizes are exposed to me, as I read this poetry. And, kind of just to let you know, we're in the Scar series, we're almost done. We have about a few more poems left. But I think in this final part of the Scar series, this is sort of like a final outpour, I would say, of all of the emotions and everything regarding this relationship, between Bridgett and her guy. And if I could, just kind of tell you the place that we're in, as you can note in the music, we are in what you call a sullen place, but an honest one. A sullen place, but an honest one. I've decided to include flowers on this beach visit because this particular poem right here is gonna go, deep. This poem right here is really gonna likely step on some toes. This entry is likely gonna step on some toes. I can guarantee that, because I have my own personal, thoughts regarding this. Like I said, I write empathically, but I also write in a way that sort of like advises her a bit. I'll moderate the lighting so I kind of can see the timing. But yes, so we're gonna go deep today. We're gonna get real and honest and everything, but we're gonna have a little fun. But yes, so without further ado, today's poem reads, "You begged to see all of me, so I showed you my heart. Turns out you just meant my skin. Turns out you just meant my skin." Video diary entry title, "What a Vision, right?" A question for Bridgett and, towards her guy. A question for Bridgett towards her guy. What a vision, right? You begged to see all of me, so I showed you my heart. And all that you wanted to know about me, I revealed the most sacred part of me, which is this here. And lo and behold, what would happen much later on, only to find out you just meant my skin. What a vision, right? And my first thought regarding this, it's not even a poem, really. It's more like a thought that I had when I first read this. When I first read this, quite a army of them came, thoughts, epiphanies, and what have you. But my first thought is simply this: I was but an added song in your playlist, not a song worth preserving nor remembering. Enjoy while you can. 2 minutes, make it count. It's sort of a sarcastic way of saying, enjoy me while I last. And even in that part that says, so I showed you my heart, it kind of takes me back to a preceding diary entry I did months and months back. That basically kind of, the thought was, I ripped out my heart. My heart was a diary. What exactly did you do with the pages of my diary culminated in my heart? But seeing your actions, I kind of see what you did. My heart meant nothing to you. All you wanted was my body. You wanted to experience the pleasure of me, but you did not care to know the passion of me. And even as I listen to this music right here in the background, and having said all of that, I kind of see like a ripping of flower petals. Interesting enough, white rose petals. White rose petals ripped to shreds and laid upon the sands. Kind of a representation of the innocence that I lost having fallen for you. But like I said, kind of going off of the entry right before this, Bridget's kind of coming to that realization at this point. You get to that point where you realize it's hard sometimes, but you reach a point where it just kind of finally dawns on you. This person never cared about me. They coveted me, but they didn't care about me. But you just wanted another song for your playlist that you could just shuffle right on through. But I was not that song that you would play over and over and over, that you would preserve in your memory. I was just another song in your playlist, metaphorical for another option. I was just another egg in your basket. It's sad, and it's disheartening when that happens. And I guess the vital lesson I learned with this, having read this, is, in order for a relationship to be there has to be intentionality before we can ever experience real intimacy. This is why intentions need to be made known, with relationships. I would say be them platonic or romantic, but we're specifically focused on romantic, intentions. Intentional has to precede intimate. If you're not intending on being in a serious relationship, well then, the way I value myself, this is just my side advice to her, and something I would say in response, having been in situations of my own, if a relationship is not your intention, then intimate is out of the question. We can stop right here, Yeah, I know we're a few minutes into it, but yes, what a vision, right? And my first poetic piece, titled All You Could Imagine, All You Could Imagine. Perhaps you did see me as a colorful kind of girl, wild and rambunctious, soft and scrumptious, delicious like an apple to your eye. But little did you know gold was my tint of choice, Tried to be a good girl, golden more to you, but how grueling a passion to put all this much effort into a love non existent. Consider my withdrawal from your psyche, yes. Everything you think you know, abolish it. New girl on the block. Naughty as ever, it would be wise of you to play nice. But knowing you and knowing me, you don't stand a chance. I got you caught up in my web, having been golden to you. Ha! Imagine me now. Slash back to reality. But I refused to be what I could become and was so close to. But then, well, you came along, and that was enough. Honor that now. All you could imagine. It's almost that question, you know, was I all you could have imagined? Was I everything you wanted at the moment? But see, a disconcertation folds this question. This question is loined in lamentation, because it's like, how could you see me like this? How could you not see that I wanted something more? But see, this would be my side advice. You know, Bridgett, you have to meet people sometimes where they are, but that doesn't always mean that meeting them where they are is suddenly gonna change their mind about where they are. Sometimes you meet people where they are and trying to form a connection, but they're comfortable where they are. So now from that point, you have to ask yourself, okay, is this relationship, is this even worth it? You know? But again, caught up in the bliss and everything like that, you know, it's so easy to get swept away and blindsided by the romantic bliss that you overlook the obvious. It's usually pretty evident from the get-go whether or not somebody has a genuine interest, you know, vested in knowing you. It's pretty obvious from the get-go a lot of times, but yeah, all you could imagine. Progressing forward, the next one. Was it the portrait you wanted? Was it the portrait you wanted? And let me just tell you, this one was kind of interesting to write because, you know, I really had to kind of examine what place we're really in. But we really are in a sullen place. We're just being honest and really bringing things to the forefront. But yeah, was it the portrait you wanted? A pretty little sparkle of seduction, a breezy little fire to touch, a sleazy little breath of fresh air. Was I your faucet to turn on and off, waters you could chug anytime you like? A leisurely little ocean I see. Well, here you have it, but you should know the poison of passion. Living passion dwells inside these walls, skies that yearn the gentle passing of clouds, the torch of the sun to burn with all, preserving my honor. Perhaps honor poses an unfamiliarity, not as promiscuous as your sick and twisted mind led you to believe. A delicate flower deserving of the right hands, the right heart, the right mind to touch me the right way. You simply weren't right for me, and certainly I wasn't for you. Look at how distorted I am. Too delightful to be loved by the likes of you. I hope you find her soon, your dream girl. I was that, but a nightmare, and my love, I'm still living. Like it or not, sorry, declined. Your desires, that is. Best wishes, keep the dream alive. Finding her. Was it the portrait you wanted? Perhaps I'm not everything you lusted for. You thought I was gonna stick around for this forever. I might have stuck around for a while, but I wasn't gonna be wound up in this situationship forever. But perhaps the season that I endured it showed me exactly what I needed to learn. You know, I'm healing by being honest. You know, and I resonate with this poem quite a bit. You know, because there's the way people see you, and there's what you know yourself to be. You know, you could see me as a sex object. You could see me as something perhaps to conquer or whatever. But there's what you think of me, and then there's what I know about me. I know I'm not a person to just put myself out there like that. No. I have to trust you outside of romance in order for me to even really embrace that. But Bridgett, perhaps your self-love wasn't developed to the point where, you know, you also respected yourself, not to just give yourself away so suddenly at the first onslaught of attention shown to you. So now we're in this sullen place, ripping apart white roses, you know, kind of signifying and acknowledging our loss of innocence, but our wealth of knowledge gained. Innocence perhaps lost, but wisdom found. I empathize so much with her on this, you know. Been in those predicaments before, you know. All this person wanted was what they wanted in the moment. And it's like, I wouldn't give that to them. And later to find out that, you know, as I'm trying to make it work, you know, no, I haven't been intimate physically with this person, but even in trying to have a connection, you know, where we just converse, you don't really have a vested interest. So imagine how much more hurt I would be if I just gave myself up like that. But now we're reeling it back in and coming back to the realization that this wasn't real. You know, was I what you wanted for the time that you had it? Kind of questions to make him think, really. But yeah, was it the portrait you wanted? And moving forward, how you wanted me. I'm loving this. I'm really loving this. Y'all feel like let's do a little intermission. Okay? Y'all tell me what you really think about this. Like, I really want feedback. You know, I'm not just doing this for my health. Like, this is really to prompt discussion. You know, I like hearing different points of view. You know, I'm open to learning. You know, I really am, seriously. So leave comments, you know, leave comments. I want comments, you know, honest comments. You know, tell me what you think, you know. You know, I love talking about this kind of stuff. You know, there's things I could learn from you guys. You know, that's how I see it. You know, it will open up my eyes and give me a new perspective. So, you know, feel free to comment and everything. But yeah, moving forward to the next piece titled, question titled, How You Wanted Me. How You Wanted Me. All the colors the sky could offer you, right? The passionate color of the scarlet rose, the raiment of seduction, easy written all over me. The darker red posed a threat, I suppose. It summons the bloody nectar residing in the essence of true love, or maybe even the wine that colors the presence of intimacy binding two hearts, two minds, two souls, one kiss. Well, safe to say we got the last part right. I did anyway. At least that's what I wanted to be, one with you. I wanted you, but I worried for me, and now I need no longer want or worry about you. Your desire was clear, so as you wish, dandelion, departing, sweet dreams, how you wanted me. Mm, mm. Let me let that sink in for a minute. Your desire was clear, so as you wish, dandelion, departing, sweet dreams. Now that you've gotten what you wanted, are you satisfied? You got just what you wanted, but you get nothing more. Things that I would imagine she'd write to herself, or, even to him, after the fact. You wanted me one way. You wanted my body. You wanted a sexual explosion between us. But you didn't want intimacy. And I might have sexually given you the time of your life. But now that I realize where you stand, I can no longer prolong this. Otherwise, I will leave damaged more than what I already am, having now come to realize it. My innocence has been shattered, but wisdom has increased on a massive level. My passion to love has not necessarily dwindled, but it does waver a bit. I can feel her on this. Facing a world, wanting somebody to love and wanting somebody to have an intimate connection with, but staring into the eyes of people who don't know how to properly handle hearts. It's a sad place to be, but it is the real world that we face. And hence why it takes courage to be vulnerable, but this would be my side advice. Bridgett, before you become vulnerable to loving somebody again, make yourself invisible for a moment. Don't make yourself so visible that quickly. Caution does need to be exercised. And making sure that the person you're investing time and energy and even resources in has a vested interest in you. A mutuality shared. But yes, how you wanted me. Like I said, deep. Very deep. And this next one, titled Picture Perfect. Picture perfect. Picture perfect, just like the rainbow I foresaw, forging out of the sky, colors sprawled awry like a bright summer tale, words composing trails, sailing upon the lots of other lamenting hearts, who laugh and smile alongside me, now in my triumph. Trashy novels this season, dumping the sullen psalms behind, leaving the heartbreaking poems behind. Fresh ballads sung to my window glass, birds shouting in aureate mass, angelic choirs rejoicing, sunlight extolling my heaven's eve, love new coming unto me, the harmony of healing, my heart revealing to me, you deserve better, and better shall it be. Oh, you thought I was talking of you, the source of my torment, my emotional torrent. Well, you get to take a time out this season. In fact, I think your contract is up. Your storyline, your character, your existence, the first two of which I'm certain. Fate can decide the rest. Dead to me, for sure. Yes. Picture perfect. A poem to say I'm better off without you. And I'm painting this portrait as wildly and as wonderfully as I know how. Trashy novels this season that I can just sort of chuckle at. I'm leaving the sullen psalms and the heartbreaking poetry behind. Interesting that I would be doing a video segment on such a poem, right? But, you know, I guess you could say it's sort of where I would like to see Bridgett at this point. Or maybe even just, you know, where she longs to be. Picture perfect. We've talked about your portrait, so now let's talk about mine, is basically what that poem says. Picture perfect. You had a portrait of me in mind, and, you know, perhaps you found it satisfying, well, gratifying for the, you know, for the moment that I was hung in your house. But now, here's my portrait that I'm bearing. I want better for myself. That's the way I see my life better off without you. Picture perfect. I see a rainbow coming out. I see colors sprawling everywhere. A summer is about to unfold that is more illustrious and voluminous than anything I could ever imagine. This is my portrait of better off without you. Picture perfect. And the last poem for this one, before I get to my after lesson, something sacred underneath. Something sacred underneath. Always, my love, always an honor, more present than what meets the eye. Forever a magic preserved for the rapid uncovering by the right one. You had your chance, but you chewed it away, discarded it, broke it in shards. Shame on you, shine on to me. Still intact, close one. Something sacred underneath. I almost let you break me to the point of no return, but no, my heart is actually, it's broken, but my capacity and my willingness to love is still intact. I'm not gonna allow what you did to me to completely sully what's inside of me. You might have broken my heart, but somebody else is gonna be a blessing to it. You treated my heart like a dumpster, a sanitary engineer just dumping off all of your stuff. and shattering my heart, but there's another awaiting my heart that will treat it like pottery. I'm working on trying to pick up the broken shards and make sense of everything. But somebody's gonna come into my life and love me the way I ought to be loved. They're gonna be like the potter that handles my heart with care. And they're gonna really expose to me how beautiful my heart really is. I'm doing the healing. They'll bring the added harmony. Kind of a place I sit in, you know, building my self-love and my self-respect. You know, I'm preparing myself for, you know, when, you know, if whenever it comes, you know, to be loved the right way by the right person. Is this person gonna be perfect? No. Will they make mistakes? Yes. But I'm open to letting that person who's willing to learn from their mistakes and not just break my heart intentionally. I trust them with that. Somebody's gonna come along and help me pick up these white rose petals off the sands. And who knows, they may even make a flower girl out of me. And I'll be the flower girl, lavishing the aisles of another's wedding. When I thought my innocence and my ability to love could be lost completely, no. Someone came along and helped me pick up those white rose petals that I spread across the sands to signify the breakage within my innocence. And that person came alongside me and made a flower girl out of me. Or perhaps even better, a bride. But yes, something sacred underneath. And my after quote in conclusion, kind of like my words to Bridgett, is typically what the after quotes are. And so much more is what it's titled. And so much more. Oh, the sunlight nestled upon a sunflower, the overcomer nestled atop the orchid, valley roamer turned mountain conqueror, the tip of the spear, my love, the powerful wave of wonder, and so much more, my darling, so much more. Bridgett, everything you thought you could no longer be, you're actually in the process of becoming much more of it. The passion that you thought might dwindle or die, no, it's actually in the process of rekindling. As you're healing and taking the honest steps towards betterment, you're opening the gateway for a fresh harmony to come in. You know, this takes me to a more beautiful time. This happened last year, actually. I was so pissed off at someone. And, you know, we were at a gathering. And I ended up, you know, writing, journaling or what have you, and expressing, my feelings and all of that stuff. And later on that day, the most breathtaking of people came in my direction and sat and had this long conversation with me. And I have been drawn to this person ever since. No, they are not a romantic, you know, love. But I just use that to paint the example of when you acknowledge, how broken you are, or how upset you are with the toxicity that found its way in your direction, how delightful it is when you are honest about it and you acknowledge it. How beautiful the sounds of gates opening for better people to come in. When you relinquish the worst, you pave way for better. So Bridgett, everything that you thought you could no longer be in matters of love, sweetie, you are becoming what you were. You are almost re-becoming, but you're becoming a better version of that. What you were before, you're going to be so much more, because now you have a bit of wisdom tacked on to you. And that just creates wonder for, the future. But yes, good segment. You begged to see all of me, so I showed you my heart. Turns out you just meant my skin. Bridgett, fret not. Don't regret showing your heart even to the wrong person. It just shows you have one. What a vision, right? Yeah. What a vision he had. But what a wonder you are beyond that which he could see. Yes. Whew. Take care, be blessed, and I hope you enjoyed the segment. I really hope you got something out of it. I hope it was impactful. I really hope, the best, for you and everything. But yes, take care, be blessed, and all of that. Have a great one.